Did you know that 93% of communication is nonverbal? That means that before you even open your mouth, people are already making assumptions about who you are based on your body language, facial expressions, and overall demeanor. While not everyone may be able to pick up on these subtle cues, Sigma males often have a strong presence that can be felt by others. They may not actively try to intimidate others, but it can happen unintentionally simply because of who they are. Here are 7 ways Sigma males can intimidate without saying a word. Number 1. Remaining silent when others expect a reaction. What if the most powerful weapon in a Sigma male's arsenal isn't what he says, but what he doesn't say? In a world of constant chatter, silence can be deafening and incredibly intimidating. When others are trying to provoke a reaction or get a rise out of someone, the Sigma male simply remains silent. While it may not be intentional, this action can come across as stoic and unfazed, often leaving others feeling frustrated or even intimidated. Unlike their alpha or beta counterparts, who might feel compelled to fill every moment with words or actions, Sigma males are comfortable with silence. They don't feel the need to prove themselves through constant verbal assertion, and this can be unsettling to some, especially those who may be used to dominating conversations or social situations. Imagine a heated argument or a tense business negotiation. While others might become flustered or defensive, Sigma male may simply stay quiet and listen, taking in all the information before responding. This often leaves others feeling off balance and unsure of how to react, giving the Sigma male a sense of control and power without ever having to speak a word. The psychological impact of this behavior can be massive. Silence always creates a vacuum that others often rush to fill, often revealing more information than they intended. It also projects an air of confidence and control. By refusing to engage in unnecessary chatter, Sigma males show that others' opinions or expectations do not easily sway them. While it may not be a conscious tactic, the effect is still there, and it's intimidating to those who thrive on vocal dominance. Imagine someone trying to argue with a Sigma, hoping to get a rise out of him. Instead of retaliating or defending himself, the Sigma just maintains eye contact and says nothing. This response, or lack thereof, can be far more unsettling and effective than any verbal comeback. However, this isn't about being shy or socially awkward. Sigma males are capable of engaging in conversation when necessary. They simply choose their words carefully and speak only when they have something meaningful to contribute. Number 2. Setting boundaries without explanation. Sigma males don't just use silence as a shield. They wield it as a sword to carve out their personal space. How do they manage to hold firm boundaries without feeling the need to justify them? Unlike their more vocal counterparts, Sigma males don't feel the need to explain or justify their actions and decisions. They trust their own judgment and feel no need for external validation or approval. This can be a difficult concept for others to grasp, especially in a world where we're constantly bombarded with opinions and beliefs from every direction. That's why Sigma males often come across as mysterious and enigmatic. They don't share their inner thoughts or motivations with others, leaving those around them to wonder what lies beneath the surface. This lack of transparency can be intimidating, especially for those who are used to being able to read and understand people easily. They simply stand their ground, using body language and facial expressions to communicate their limits. This assertive, rather than aggressive approach to boundary setting is often more effective and respected. The key to this trait lies in the Sigma male's self-assurance and emotional intelligence. They don't feel the need to defend their choices or seek approval from others. This silent confidence can be unnerving to those who are used to pushing boundaries or manipulating others through words. Sigma males focus on maintaining steady eye contact and neutral facial expressions. They avoid fidgeting or nervous gestures that might undermine their nonverbal message. Their goal is to be assertive, not aggressive or dismissive. Number 3. Responding to criticism with a slight raise of an eyebrow. When faced with criticism, Sigma males often respond with minimal reaction. Instead of launching into a defensive tirade or becoming visibly upset, they might simply raise an eyebrow. This subtle movement speaks volumes, conveying a mix of skepticism, curiosity, and perhaps even amusement. It's a powerful nonverbal cue that can completely disarm a critic. The psychological impact of this understated response not only diffuses the situation, but also puts the Sigma male in a position of power. It throws the critic off balance, making them question the effectiveness of their attack. When someone expects an emotional outburst and receives only a raised eyebrow, it can be incredibly confusing. This response shows emotional control and confidence, two traits that naturally come off as intimidating. While an alpha male might feel the need to speak up in his own defense, and a beta might become flustered or apologetic, the Sigma male's almost detached response leaves the critic feeling like they're not getting to them. It's a subtle but powerful way of asserting dominance without having to resort to aggressive behavior. This trait is not about being dismissive or disrespectful, but rather about knowing one's own worth and not feeling the need to defend it aggressively. Number 4. Standing their ground without getting defensive. Emotional stability is often seen as a passive trait, but what if it's actually one of the most intimidating qualities a person can possess? Sigma males have really nailed this, and it's changing the game in ways you might not expect. When faced with conflict or criticism, many people react defensively. They raise their voices, make excuses, or lash out. However, Sigma males take a different approach. They stand their ground without getting defensive, a trait that can be both intimidating and admirable. This ability stems from their high emotional intelligence. Reacting emotionally often escalates conflicts rather than resolving them. So they remain calm and collected, even in high-pressure situations. This emotional stability allows them to think clearly and respond rationally, rather than react impulsively. Compare this with more reactive personality types. An alpha male might feel compelled to assert dominance through aggressive behavior, while a beta might get flustered or try to please others. On the other hand, the Sigma male's composed demeanor often leaves others unsure of how to respond. Imagine a workplace scenario where a colleague unfairly criticizes his work. Instead of becoming defensive or angry, he calmly listens, considers the feedback objectively, and responds with facts and logic. This calm response might throw off the critic, who probably anticipated a more emotional reaction. The power of this emotional stability extends beyond conflict resolution. In negotiations, relationships, and leadership roles, staying calm and unemotional can give the impression of being in control, even in situations where one might feel out of control internally. Number 5. Maintaining unwavering eye contact. Imagine someone looking directly at you with steady, unwavering eyes. There's an intensity in that gaze that speaks louder than words ever could. It's nearly impossible to avoid or ignore, and it sends a powerful message. When a Sigma male locks eyes with someone, it's not just mere looking. It's a form of communication. Those eyes say, "I am present, I am focused, and I see you completely." It's like they're reading your thoughts without uttering a single word. Such intense eye contact often intimidates people, even if they might not admit it. There's something weird about being held by someone's gaze. It feels like there's a silent conversation going on, and you're not sure if you're supposed to respond. However, for some, it can feel like a spotlight shining directly on them, exposing their thoughts and intentions. Those who aren't used to this kind of presence might feel uncomfortable and even threatened. But the Sigma male isn't trying to intimidate or dominate with their eye contact. It's simply a reflection of their strong sense of self. Number 6. Not doing something simply because everyone else is. What if the most influential people aren't those who lead the pack, but those who stand apart from it? Sigma males are simply reshaping how we view leadership and social influence. These men don't just march to the beat of their own drum. They compose their own symphony. They have a unique ability to resist group pressure and avoid bandwagon behavior. This trait isn't about being contrarian for the sake of it, but rather about making decisions based on their own judgment and values. This independence can be incredibly intimidating to others, especially those who are more comfortable following the crowd. In a world where conformity often feels like the safest option, someone who consistently charts their own course stands out. It takes significant psychological strength to go against the crowd, especially when faced with social or professional pressure to conform. This trait plays a big role in giving the Sigma male his unique charm and attracting women. There's something really appealing about a person who's confident enough to go their own way. It shows a kind of self-assurance and confidence that many women find intriguing. However, this isn't about being different for the sake of it or trying to be a lone wolf on purpose. It's about having a strong sense of self and being unapologetic about it. Number 7. Doing their own thing without seeking approval. Did you know that one of the most powerful ways to command respect is to simply do your own thing? Picture a man who never seeks approval, never explains his choices, and seems completely unfazed by others' opinions. Is he arrogant, or is there something more profound at play? The answer might challenge everything you thought you knew about confidence and social dynamics. Sigma males aren't swayed by the flashy trends or the latest fads. Whether it's the way they dress, the jobs they choose, or the hobbies they enjoy, they follow their hearts. This might sound like no big deal, but in a world where everyone seems to be looking around to see what everyone else is doing, it's a standout trait. It takes real courage to chart your path, especially when the world is telling you to fit in. They don't even feel the need to shout it out loud or prove themselves to anyone. This calm assurance silently shows that they're comfortable in their skin without needing any external validation. When somebody is so secure with their choices, it often leaves those around them a bit speechless, unsure of how to measure up. Sigma males are not driven by likes or shares, but by genuine personal satisfaction. But why is this trait so intimidating? Because it's not something that can be faked or manufactured. It's as if Sigma holds a mirror up, quietly challenging others to question if they too could stand alone with such grace. In a world of echoes, being a lone voice is both rare and remarkable.